Hi, my name is Anya. This is my Luminosity Yoga channel, and this is the video for the solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, the second Virgo lunation in the year 2025. So let's start by sitting on our mats. Find a comfortable seat. So I'll start off by saying a few things about the eclipse. And the eclipse takes place always, eclipses always take place on an axis of two opposing signs. And at the moment, we are in the eclipse portal of Pisces. So we had a lunar eclipse in Pisces on a north node of the moon. This is where let's say the kind of evolutionary direction is more towards Pisces. And now we have a south node solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. And this is where we want to liberate ourselves from certain tendencies, certain familiar patterns, maybe even family patterns that no longer serve us. And they're both mutable signs. So Virgo is mutable earth, the south node, where we are moving more away from certain tendencies. And at the same time, the north node, Pisces, which is mutable water, and so where we're moving more towards. However, it's in Vedic astrology, there's a slightly different approach, and in general, maybe it is more about being able to find more ability to play the whole range from Pisces to Virgo rather than just releasing one thing and completely doing the other. More seeing where are our tendencies where we get stuck. So in Virgo, there could be tendencies of self negation, even self harm, self criticism, wanting to get it right, wanting to be perfect, and otherwise not doing nothing at all, rather than, if it's not perfect, then I won't do it. It's not right. And on the so on the Pisces side, it would be more like, let's say, I'm just talking about shadow sides more now, would be things like spacing out and just completely letting go and not taking responsibility. So, and then the light side, the bright side of Pisces would be the vision and the dream and the deep, deep connection to everything in the universe and also to your higher self and trusting in the guidance of your higher self. And in Virgo, it would be like being able to structure in a way that it really serves us and really being able to know what's good for us. So it's connected to our gut health and knowing what foods or what we consume, what kind of energy, food, also company, conversation, all of these, what's good for us and what is too much, and being able to make these decisions from that very centered place. And so we're just wanting to be able to play that range more fully and in, let's say, in a higher expression. And so I'll guide you through a short asana practice. And what you can always determine is how you set an intention for your practice, and that will determine how you engage with the contents that's presented to you. So instead of having to get it absolutely right or having to do it exactly how it's instructed, you can decide yourself what is your energy level, how are you feeling, and as a result, how would you like to engage what's presented to you rather than completely rejecting it or having to do it exactly like that? How can you actually bring yourself into the practice each and every time you come to your mat? And so, having said all that, so in Vedic astrology, the south node of the moon, where the solar eclipse takes place in Virgo, there is a Navgraha Mudra Navagraha mudra comes from classical Indian dance, and they are kind of hand positions. So let's take this mudra to start off with for our breathing practice. And again, as I said, you don't have to get it perfect. Take your right hand, palm facing up, and with your thumb, you're touching the outside bound of your index finger. And then with the other hand, and you're going to bring, with the left hand, bring the index finger up, and the thumb holds down the other three fingers. Yeah, so just take a moment to find that. And you can imagine yourself doing some Indian dance with that. Unfortunately, I haven't been trained in Indian dance, even though dance is my passion. So, and then just bring the hands down like that in that mudra in a comfortable way. And then just take a moment to really feel your physical body. Inhale, feeling your body. And exhale, releasing whatever doesn't serve yourself at this point. We start off by taking 3 deep breaths, and on our exhale, exhaling through the mouth, through the open mouth, possibly with a sigh, and releasing everything down to the earth we no longer need. One last time. And then sense all the body parts that are touching the earth without judgment, just noticing. And just sense the grounding forward or connection to the earth from your perineum or your tailbone. And any thoughts from before and afterwards, feel them like little pearls gathering in your pelvis, dropping down into the earth, arriving here in this moment. And then allowing yourself to receive the inhale from Mother Earth, coming up to your heart. And then exhaling again, releasing everything down into the earth. And again, we allow ourselves to receive the inhale rather than having to drag it. And then we notice this short pause at the end of the inhale and then release and exhale all the way down into the earth. And again, just notice the short pause interval at the end of your exhale. And then just keep going like that. Virgo being a very cerebral sign, often extremely busy in the mind, which then has a detrimental or can have detrimental impact on the gut health, on the digestive tract. So see if you can actually even out your in and exhale, but most importantly, just sense those little breaks at the end of the in and exhale. Finding our seat in the middle between heaven and earth, allowing our inhale to flow all the way up to the crown. Pisces connection to the whole entire universe. And then allowing our exhale to anchor us down into the earth and really stay connected with the earth. And find your seat between those opposites in your center, where you can breathe with ease, and you can sit on a chair or you can rest your back against the wall. So, whatever makes it easy for you. Let's do three more. When we release the mudra, bring our arms up on the inhale. Exhale, bring our hands together in front of the heart, center of our chest, sternum. And then we're gonna sound three arms. Take a deep exhale. Inhale, sense your connection from the earth to the heaven. And then bow your head to your heart and set an intention. You can have it as a question or a commitment, and to liberate yourself from any self-harming tendencies related to the sign of Virgo, or anything detrimental from the sign of Virgo, what is in relationship to that. And as I said, you can ask a question: what is it that will liberate me? Or what qualities, self-sabotaging qualities, for example, do I now need to liberate myself from? Or I'm committing myself to liberating myself from any self-sabotaging tendencies. If that intention doesn't work for you, you set your own intention. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring that into your body. Keeping your eyes closed as we do for a Ketu practice. However, if that is very uncomfortable for you, you make your own decisions around that. Maybe you want to have a soft gaze or blink your eyes open occasionally. So we come front on all fours, and we do this slowly, for sensing, feeling. And then just to open up our digestive tract, keep your feet in line with your knees, pull your shins down, bring your arms front, and then bring your left hand under your right elbows, keeping your elbows in line, and bring your forehead on the ground. And take some deep in and exhales into your digestive tract, paying attention, noticing the little intervals at the end of your in and exhale. Resting your forehead on the ground. That doesn't have to be on your arms. Arms can be very different lengths. Mine are quite long. Maybe your forehead is resting on your forearm. Mine is behind it. So just see what works for you. Just trying to really nourish your digestive system here. Stretching out. Allowing ourselves to receive the inhale, releasing on our exhale. Or maybe you notice your breath softening by itself. And then slowly coming up, eyes closed, changing sides. As I said, you decide for yourself if you need to make adjustments. And then very slowly stretching your arms out, both arms out, bring your seat to your heels. And again, just take a few deep in and exhales here. Finding the length, toes tucked under from your heels to your little fingers, creating space in your neck, pulling the shoulders gently back, maybe adjusting. Move your hips a little bit. Release the jaw. Finding your downward dog. So upward dog and downward dog are expressions of Rahu and Ketu. Rahu being the north node of the moon in Vedic astrology, Ketu being the south node of the moon. So upward and downward dog is what we will practice in a flow form. Just gently move your feet towards the front of your mat. And then just take a moment to grab opposite elbows, releasing everything here. Bend your knees as much as you need to. You can dangle. Can releasing the jaw maybe. Releasing any strain, grab opposite elbows, keep either moving or be in the center. See what works for you today. Releasing the crown of your head. And then shaking out the arms, the hands, maybe the hips. And pucker your lips, releasing the lips. And just do that 3 times. Then very gently, slowly rolling up, 1 vertebra at a time. Namaste. So open your toes, open your fingers. Arms facing front, shoulders down, opening your chest. Inhaling, bring your arms up. Still noticing the small breaks at the end of the in and exhale. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, half forward bend. And then just step back into downward facing dog. Taking a deep in and exhale here with our eyes closed. We take our time. Inhale, come into plank. If that doesn't work for you, you can come on all fours. The knees, chest, and chin, or just lower down. Again, just taking your time. And then inhale, I'll start with a small cobra. If you are ready for upward dog, please go for it. And exhale, releasing the forehead, and then find your own way back into downward facing dog. I'll start with all fours. Feet to the heels, being kind to myself, slowly warming up, and then finding myself into downward facing dog. Again, just finding my breath. And then very slowly walk to the front of your mat. Take as many steps as you need to. Inhale, half forward bend. Exhale, full. Inhale, bring your arms with you. Come all the way up. Connecting to the sky. And with your feet to the earth, hands in front of your heart. Connecting to your intention. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half forward bend. As you step back, if you can, use the other foot. That's more unusual for you. And come into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or on all fours. The knees, chest, and chin. Or lower down. Inhale. You find your cobra or upward dog. And also you find your own way back into downward dog. And again, just sensing your breath here. And bend your knees. And then slowly walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your arms up with you. Saluting the sun. Hands in front of your heart. And of course, we salute the moon as well. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You can always bend your knees. Inhale, half forward fold, step back. Using the foot that you prefer into a down dog. Inhale, plank. So your choice now, you go through your vinyasa. You can roll over the feet into upward dog if you're ready. You can go through a whole vinyasa. And then exhale, find your way back into downward dog. Again, taking a deep and an exhale, finding the short breaks at the end of the exhale, at the end of the in and out breath. And then look front, and you can slowly walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, half forward fold. We'll do 7 of these in total. For each of the traditional planets, inhale, come all the way up for the traditional chakras, hands in front of a heart, exhale. 7 days of a week. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale. Enjoying your breath. Inhale, you enjoy your inhale. Notice the short break. And again, step back with the foot you don't like so much. If that didn't work, don't worry. Inhale, coming into plank. Either knees, chest, and chin, chaturanga, or just moving over your toes into upward dog. Deep inhale. And exhale, downward dog. And again, just taking a deep in and exhale. Bending your knees, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And taking some steps to the front of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. 3 more. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank or all fours. Move through your vinyasa of your choice. And then your back bend, inhale. Find your own way into downward facing dog on your exhale. Then remembering the short breaks at the end of the in and out breath. Coming up on your toes, moving to the front of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale all the way down. Coming up on your inhale. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Last two, inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. If you can, step back with your right foot into downward facing dog. And come into your plank. Move through your vinyasa with the choice that works for you and for your body at this point. Once you're in your downward dog, deep in and exhale, knees slightly bent. Roll the shoulders away from the ears and then slowly walk to the front of the mat last time. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale. Fold. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, stretching out. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Final round. Inhale. We're opening our heart to the sky. And on the exhale, we salute the earth. Inhale, half forward bend, move back with the other foot if you can. Into downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into plank and then move through vinyasa. Upward dog or cobra, in the way that works for you. And then coming back into downward facing dog. And just stay here a few breaths. Again, noticing the in and exhale and the breaks between them. With your eyes closed if that's possible. And then come down on your knees. Bring your seat to your heels. So feet touching and that your torso can rest. Your chest can rest between your thighs. Relaxing your elbows and your forehead, arms, front or back. Release your fingers as well. Sensing your deeper breath now. Also in the back of your body. And just let your breath find itself, receiving your inhale, noticing the breaks between you and the exhale. Resting in those breaks. And this is also where the eclipses happen, and those kind of breaks where the timeline seems to shift and the luminaries are gone for a second. And something's being revealed or something is taken away from us. Something that serves our evolutionary path, even if in the moment it might not make sense. We can trust higher guidance and the greater good of all, aligning ourselves with that in our hearts. Bring your hands next to your knees, very slowly roll up one vertebra at a time into sitting. And then just find a comfortable seat again, just as we did at the beginning. Of course, you can change it, you can sit in any way that works for you. Let's see if we can find a mudra with our hands again. The mudra, the hand gesture. For Ketu, for the south node. So right palm facing front. The thumb touching the outer mound of the index finger. Left palm, index finger faces up towards the sky. And the thumb holds down the other three fingers. Yeah, that's great. And then once you have your mudra, place the hands on your thighs again. Again, sensing your breath. And anchoring in the breaks between the in and the exhale. Being curious about those. Thinking about something you are thankful for today that makes you smile. And it absolutely doesn't matter what that is. Just sense that in your heart. And let that feeling expand across your entire body, every cell. Releasing the mudra, bringing our arms up on our inhale. Hands together in front of our hearts on the exhale. And let's close with one arm. Take a deep exhale. And inhale. Bow your head to your heart, and we're dedicating the merits of our practice to all beings without one exception. Namaste. Thanks for joining me during the Eclipse Portal. And every Monday, I have a Zoom class at 6:30 Central European Time. And I'd be honored if you came to join me. I'll put the link in the show notes. And I look forward to seeing you here soon. And wishing you a liberating eclipse. Bye for now.